Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Rob of Rule of Two Review. Welcome back to the channel, and today we can finally talk about an official reveal for the PlayStation 5. Oh man, here we go. The PlayStation 5 is finally going to be revealed to us, you guys. Holy freaking crap. This has taken way too long to get to, man. I mean, 2020 is a weird year. We know every single video I've made in 2020, I've had to state 2020 is a weird year. But it is weird, and so we obviously know that that's one of the main reasons we haven't seen anything from the PlayStation 5 significant all year, except for the reveal of the controller, the DualSense 5. We did get that a couple of months ago, and that was cool. That was a good first step, but we've been waiting for more details. What's the console look like? When is it releasing? What's the price? What are the games? All of these fine details, that's what we've been waiting for. And to be fair, this does apply to Microsoft too. We've obviously seen way more info from Microsoft on the Xbox Series X than we have from Sony on the PlayStation 5, to give Microsoft that credit. However, we're still waiting on a lot of the big picture final details when it comes to the launch of these two consoles and if they're sticking to 2020 and all of this stuff. And like I said, because of the weirdness of this year, yeah, they probably have had to wait longer than normal because of them probably trying to figure out the logistics behind the scenes of even launching these darn things this year, if they still launch this year. And so I get it. But that being said, we've still been kind of dying to find out what's going on, right? And so this morning, Sony finally officially tweeted that the PlayStation 5 Reveal Event is coming next week. Here is what they said. Join us Thursday, June 4th at 1 p.m. Pacific time for a look at the future of gaming on PlayStation 5. So this is obviously crazy exciting. That is less than a week from today that this event will be happening. And of course, they do link to their PlayStation blog where they reveal a couple of more details and clarify some things about what we maybe can expect from the event. We've shared technical specifications and shown you the DualSense wireless controller, but what is a launch without games? That's why I'm excited to share that we will soon give you a first look at the games you'll be playing after PlayStation 5 launches this holiday. The games coming to PS5 represent the best in the industry from innovative studios that span the globe. Studios, both larger and smaller, those newer and those more established, all have been hard at work at developing games that will showcase the potential of the hardware. This digital showcase will run for a bit more than an hour, and for the first time, we will all be together virtually experiencing the excitement together. A lack of physical events has given us an amazing opportunity to think differently and bring you on this journey with us, and hopefully closer than ever before. This is part of our series of PS5 updates, and rest assured, after next week's showcase, we will still have much to share with you. So pretty good info to read from the PlayStation blog. It does essentially state that, hey, this is really only supposed to be about the games. They're not necessarily going to be giving us the price and the release date yet. And if that turns out to really be true, which they basically just do spell out here, that part is a little bit of a shame because like I said at the beginning here, we've been waiting for info on what the console looks like, when is it coming, what's the price, all of this stuff. And so, yeah, maybe that part's a little unfortunate. But if they stay true to their word here and they give us over an hour of just games and game showcase, I think that that is probably the most important thing. I mean, yeah, release date and price is actually pretty important as well. But like they say here, what's a console launch without the games? I mean, we've really been waiting to understand the game situation, and as we know, Microsoft made an attempt to show us what Xbox Series X games are going to be, and I reviewed the event. I liked that event because it was a very entertaining event showing us new games we had never seen before. And so from that perspective, I thought it was a great, fun 30 minutes worth of new Xbox games. However, as we know, most of those games were Xbox One games that were going to feature Series X enhancements, and of course, we really didn't see anything in the world of true gameplay. That part was a little bit of a smokescreen, and they weren't really being honest with what they were showing. And so now comes Sony, a couple of weeks later, ready to give us their PlayStation 5 reveal stuff. They're telling us it's going to be all about the game, so are we going to see something more substantial? So I've got to be real with you guys. Yeah, I think we're going to get something pretty substantial. And I think that's for two reasons. One, because Sony knows that they're running out of time to really just start showing the world and telling the world what the hell is going on with the PlayStation 5. And the second reason is honestly partly because Microsoft botched the gameplay reveal aspect of their showcase. And the internet, even though I'm somebody who enjoyed the 30 minutes, most of the internet very much did not like it and were very vocal about what they didn't like about Microsoft's Xbox Series X gameplay reveal. And I think that Sony is in a great position to have learned from that, heard the criticisms, and deliver something that they probably know is going to be a lot more satisfying, which means real gameplay. If anything, the Unreal 5 tech demo that we saw a couple of weeks ago during the Summer Games Fest, I think that's a good example of the kind of thing that people want to see. That was way more positively received than anything Microsoft did for their Xbox showcase. And if they show us a couple of games that we'll be playing at the launch of the PlayStation 5 and maybe even within the first 6 months to year of the PlayStation 5, and they show it to us in a similar fashion to that gameplay tech demo, the Unreal 5 tech demo, I think that people are going to be very satisfied. At least if the games look good, like the quality of the games look good, and if it really is going to showcase what the power of the PS5 is going to be, I think most people are going to love it. Now, of course, I do want to remind you that they say at the end of the blog post here that there's a lot more to show. And they basically say, rest assured, once this next week's presentation is done, we'll have even more to share. So that's the kind of stuff that makes, at least to me, makes it sound like they're doubling down on the fact that we probably won't get any of the price or release date info just yet. I think that that's the stuff that they're going to be sharing in the future. So what can we expect from this show? I mean, hopefully a couple of really notable PlayStation 5 exclusives. Are we going to see PS5 definitive versions of The Last of Us 2 or Ghost of Tsushima, stuff like that? I think possibly yes. And if so, then I think that there's a good chance they're going to talk about that at this show, which will be really great hype for something like The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima, both of which come out very soon after next week's show here on June 4th. As far as new games, are we going to see new PlayStation exclusives? Hopefully. A big rumor, and this one is really complicated for me to talk about, you guys. A big rumor has been a new Silent Hill game. And what's tricky about that is, you know, going back the last week or two, there were talks about a new Silent Hill game. Konami is working with Sony to make an exclusive Silent Hill game. Very likely could be a PlayStation 5 game exclusive to the PlayStation. And it's going to be this return to form to Silent Hill after PT fell apart, and it's going to be really great. And that sounds amazing. You guys don't even know, oh my god, you guys, how badly I want that. I love Silent Hill. I don't get to talk about it much on this channel, but I love Silent Hill. But, as we all know, this DLC Dead by Daylight stupid thing happened a couple of days ago that was like, oh, it's this Silent Hill downloadable content for this multiplayer game that isn't even a Silent Hill game. Here you go. And so my fear is that that Silent Hill rumor had really only to do with that stupid DLC thing and not an actual new game. However, it might not be that way, right? So if I was to play the optimistic angle, maybe we're going to see that kind of stuff. So are we going to see something, a different Naughty Dog game, a different Sucker Punch game, Sony Santa Monica, a new God of War, another Marvel game like a sequel to Spider-Man, or a different superhero that's exclusive to Sony? Very possibly, man. There's a lot of cool things that could be happening at this event. So that's the kind of stuff we want to see, let alone, I mean, new IPs. You know, any one of these studios, Naughty Dog, Sucker Punch, Santa Monica, whatever, they could be giving us new IPs. Are we going to see something like Elden Ring that we've been waiting to hear about forever? Hopefully. Whether these games are exclusive or not, we have to remember, a lot of this stuff could still show up at an event like this. It's not just all about Sony games. Just like Microsoft's and Nintendo's events aren't always just about their first-party stuff. They're always also showcasing third-party and multi-platform games. You know, are we going to see like a PlayStation 5 definitive version of Cyberpunk or Final Fantasy VII? Maybe. These are the kinds of things that could actually show up at this event, and it's exciting across the board. I wish that I could feel like we're going to see the console and get the price and the release date, but we probably won't. Although, let me amend this. I think if there's anything we might get beyond games, we might actually see the console. I think they're not quite yet ready to give us the price and the release date, which is an unfortunate prediction, but I feel that way. However, there's a good chance that they might start off the showcase by showing us what the console looks like. Like, you've seen the DualSense 5, now see the PlayStation 5, and then there's the box, there's the device, we see it. And then, here's an hour of games. That could be really cool. And the only other thing I'll say at the end that I really, really hope they do here is I would love it if every single game, or at least most of the games that they're going to show us this Thursday, also give us release dates, okay? It's one thing to show us all these amazing games, but if we feel like half the games you're going to show us, Sony, are maybe 3, 4, or 5 years away, that part's going to be a little bit disappointing and, in fact, pretty frustrating. But if you give us, 8, 9, 10 games or whatever you're going to show us, and you give us release dates for most of them, and if they're hopefully around the launch for the console, then we're going to be talking, and the PlayStation 5 hype is going to be cooking like nobody's business, man. That's the kind of smart business stuff that's good PR, good press, good for the consumer and the gaming community. That kind of stuff we will get excited about and we will rally around. So Sony's in a great position here to really knock it out of the park with this one. All three of these companies tend to drop the ball in a lot of situations like this, so they may not deliver. The same way Microsoft, for most people, didn't deliver. Sony might make their own goofs here, so we have to prepare for them to maybe disappoint us and do some stupid things that just leave us scratching our heads. But I want to believe that won't happen. They are a smart company, even though they make dumb mistakes. They're a smart company. They're in an opportunity to have learned from what Microsoft did wrong. And so for those reasons, I want to believe that they're really just gonna nail it. So here we are, man. We're on the precipice of the next generation. It's time to find out what's going with the PlayStation 5. Sony has been quiet for far too long, and it sounds like they're finally getting ready to open the floodgates and start giving us details, starting with what sounds like the first of several PlayStation 5 focused events. Now we're going to see the games. This is an exciting time. So I'm obviously very pumped, as you can't tell, but I want to hear what you guys think. What do you think about my discussion and opinions about what's going on? What are your own opinions? Are you excited? Are you not? Do you think Sony is going to nail it? Do you think that they're going to drop the ball? Always a possibility. Whatever you think, talk about it below. And with that, this video is a wrap. Thanks, of course, as always, for tuning in, guys. This is Rob of Rule of 2 Review, and I'll catch you next time on another video.